Hello everyone, welcome to Lucid Mates. Today we are going to discuss about the crisis regarding the arrest of Huawei's chief financial officer and the concern of Western countries regarding Huawei's increasing presence in the technological world. So before going into the finer details of the problem, let's have a brief introduction. Earlier in December, Canadian authorities arrested the Chinese tech giant Huawei's global chief financial officer Meng Wanzhou on allegations of fraud leveled by the US. The move has led to China warning Canada and calling in the US ambassador in Beijing to lodge its protest. So let's see what the background is regarding this case. As per Canadian and US authorities, Meng may have participated in a scheme to trick financial institutions into making transactions that violated US sanctions against Iran. Between 2009 and 2014, Huawei reportedly used a Hong Kong company named Skycom Tech to do business with telecom companies in Iran, thereby circumventing the US sanctions. There are allegations that Huawei used Skycom to do business in Iran. Canadian and US authorities have stated that Huawei operated Skycom as an unofficial subsidiary. So since we have seen the background of the problem, let's see what is Huawei's response is regarding this case. Meng has denied the allegations. Huawei has stated that they operated in Iran in complete compliance with US sanctions and that it had sold its shares in Skycom. So, in the beginning itself, we had introduced the topic as concerns of Western countries regarding Huawei's presence in the technological world. So, let's see what are the concerns of Western countries. The arrest of Meng marks the sharpening contest between Washington and Beijing. The immediate focus, though, is on fifth generation wireless technology. US is concerned that China is catching up to the US's lead in technological leadership, and this in fact could challenge US's global domination too. And this is not the first time that the US is targeting Chinese tech companies. Earlier this year, the Trump administration banned the export of American components to the Chinese telecom firm ZTE. However, unlike the ZTE case, the Huawei case is being treated as a criminal offense and could lead to severe punishment for Meng. And many other Western intelligence agencies have come out in the open to voice security concerns in relation to Huawei. Their concern rises from the opaque nature of Huawei's links with the People's Liberation Army of China. These arguments are, in fact, similar to the ones raised by Indian security agencies nearly a decade ago when Huawei was trying to break into the Indian telecom market. More than its current espionage ability, what worries the US is Huawei's unrelenting efforts to take over superfast 5G mobile platform. The US worries that any company with technology to control vast data that will flow through 5G network will exercise unprecedented power over the world's economy and security. Now let's see what the Chinese reaction has been. Huawei is in fact the crown jewel of China's technological sector, and the Chinese view the arrest as a political play to create leverage on trade or cripple Chinese technology companies. The arrest, made as per the demands of US, will pose a direct challenge to the already difficult relationship between USA and China. China too in fact faces a dilemma of whether to take a muscular response or a low-key response. China has, however, warned Canada over the arrest and called in the US ambassador in Beijing to lodge its protest. Now, since we have addressed the concerns of Western countries as well as USA, let's see what are the Indian concerns regarding the whole issue. India will be affected by the technology war between USA and China. As Washington goes after Huawei, Delhi's own exposure to the company will come under scrutiny. The new dynamic between USA and China will severely test India's great power relations. And India's strategy of playing all sides among the great powers seemed sensible when Russia and China had relatively benign relationship with USA. However, this approach is becoming difficult to sustain amidst Washington's rapidly deteriorating relations with Moscow and now Beijing. Last year, China had passed a law obliging private companies to help state agencies if asked, and China invests heavily in surveillance of its own citizens. China has also worked hard to block India's rise. Cyber warfare could soon become a new deadly component added on to this. Allegations surfaced a decade ago of Huawei hacking into BSNL's network. So, what lies ahead? Washington will have to consider the impact of this move on its technology giants, all of whom are joined at the hip with China. And China will have to come to terms with the fact that the US has mounted a coordinated campaign to confront Chinese technology companies. And as far as India is concerned, the surveillance threat by Chinese tech companies are very serious. So, India will do well to subject wares from Chinese telecom companies to the greatest possible scrutiny. And amidst the new global pushback against Huawei and India's own plans to introduce 5G mobile technology, Delhi might have to revisit the old arguments and take a fresh look at its relationship with Chinese tech giants. That's all for today. Thank you. Hope you all got a grasp of the issue.